In a world full of every possible sentient species, it is abound with a diverse selection of brothels. The girls who work there are called succu-girls, and they pleasure the horny men of this world with the unique features of their species. Here we meet Stunk, a human adventurer who loves to sleep with elves for their beauty, and Zell, an elf who's disgusted by Stunk as he just slept with a 500-year-old elf. Zell prefers old women like Mitsue, because despite their looks, all human succu-girls are under 100. Wow, the choice of diversity. In a bar, Stunk and Zell argue on this very serious topic, so they pull in Conchal, a halfling, and Bruce, a beastman. They ask them to review the elf and the woman's debate, leading in a result where the woman wins because of her age. Next morning, as they stroll around in a forest discussing the same topic, they hear a scream. They slice through the beast, tormenting an angel called Krim. As they're about to leave, Krim asks if they can join their travel, meaning they cannot use their powers or go back to heaven. The boys agree, but in exchange, they ask Krim to take them to heaven once they heal. When asked why, they explain they are on a mission to sleep with a woman from every species there is in the entire world from heaven to hell. Hearing so, Krim regrets their choice. Suddenly they ask Krim if they are a boy, to which Krim says yes, and shows them their bulge. Wow, they are blind not to see those A-cup buns. Wait, they have both a sausage and the hole for it. They take Krim to Meow Meow Brothel to treat them. The pure and undefiled angel is immediately defiled and horrified at what happened. The next morning they take Krim to the bar where Krim gets the job of a waiter. Waitress? There on the bulletin board, Stunk and Zell post reviews of the brothels they've been to, which brings them a huge pile of gold. They leave in a quest to find more species. After 2 weeks, they come back with a new review about birdmaids. This review of theirs angers Maidry, the owner at the bar who just so happens to be a birdmaid herself. Stunk touches the nape of Maidry's neck because birdmaids have sensitive napes. In return, he gets a stool to his head. And this is how Interspecies Reviewers is founded. One night in a bar, Zell, Stunk, and Canchel are discussing whether size matters or not. They decide to go to the brothel to settle the matter and ask Krim to come along. Apparently, they sell more reviews if Krim is on the docket as women buy it more. Also, Krim is an angel, which is very rare down here on Earth. While discussing where to go, they see some fairies drinking in a nearby table and decide to go to a fairy brothel. On the way, they discuss how Stunk is from a powerful noble family but was kicked out by his father. They reach there with the expectation of meeting cute and perky fairies, but are greeted by a ragged one, the receptionist. They pay the fee and get in line to get their sausages measured, as fairies have size limits. Stunk goes first and gets a 16.5 centimeter card, so he gets a choice between only 2 fairies. See people, big is not always better. Zell and Canchel also get their sausages measured, and since theirs is smaller, they get a wider range of choices. But to everyone's surprise, no one in the brothel can handle Krim. They all post honest reviews, which leaves the readers wondering about Krim and the missile that he's hiding in his pants. Later, the Demon King addresses the public as elections are near. We learn that the Orc Party is running the government with low taxes and more focus on agriculture, self-sufficiency, and brothels. Now that government gets my vote. Witnessing the demon speech, Stunk suggests visiting a demon brothel, but Zell and Krim are hesitant as they have a thing against dark aspects. Suddenly they get shouted at by a demon called Demon 2. He explains how the demon species are among the top 5 least marriageable species, and he wants to hire reviewers to uplift their image. He hands the group a card for the best establishment. Despite their hesitancy, the group decides to take up Demon 2's recommendation. But on the way there, they see some cowgirls with their honkers who immediately grab their attention and lift their sausages. They end up in the dairy farm writing a pretty good review of the milk. This brothel that they visit is not ordinary, as it is a gender change brothel. They drink a potion, turning into girls. They creepily check each other out down to the pores. Krim gets creeped out and tries to leave, but gets stopped as the policy there restricts it. After all this, they visit a brothel that has a partnership with a gender swap for an ultimate lesbian experience. They choose their girls, each one of them has a girl-on-girl experience. Stunk and Canchel don't get such pleasures, but Zell, who picked Slime Girl, really has the best time. Yes, people here can honk a slime. And Krim, who picked the Hyena Girl, has a great time as well, since even female hyenas have boy parts down there, if you know what I mean. When the review comes out, Krim shocks everyone again as they realize Krim would clap any gender they get. On a stormy night, we hear Krim scream as the others lie in the rain unconscious. A week later, and the bar still solemn in memory of the boys they just lost, the narrator starts thanking the viewer as the reviewers will live in the hearts of the people. Heh, fooled you. There's more to come. Wasn't this supposed to be R-rated? Why does the narrator treat us like kids? The narrator reverts the clock to explain what actually happened. The reviewers stumble upon a road they have not been through in the brothel area. They find a brothel with all-you-can-honk kind of service for really cheap. As they enter, they see a room full of low-level lilims, who are very thirsty for a good time. The boys are told to sign a contract that the brothel won't be held responsible if they die in there. The boys are challenged by the Lilims to enter, to which Stunk asks Zell to cast a boost spell on them. Krim makes a smart choice and decides not to go in. The boys go in valiantly. They are sucked dry. They are only saved when 100 pigs come in to take revenge for the last time, because of which the Lilims turn their attention to them and the boys are tossed out into the rain. They take 3 weeks to recover and write reviews with low scores. One morning, the guys go to a volcano to gather some firestones for Maedry. They are attacked by some rocky army, but Zell and Stunk fight them pretty easily. Turns out Stunk has been a great fighter since he was young. When he was just a kid, he could defeat full-level knights, but for some reason he was thrown out by his nobleman father. They enter a salamander barbecue restaurant, and yes, the meat is cooked in the flesh of a female, hence the name. After some bacon strips, they order some sausages, which they decide to cook in very interesting places like her mouth and the cave down there. After all this, the salamander asks to continue in a different room, but Zell and Stunk run as they will get burned, but Krim agrees as angels have heat resistance. Krim rates the salamander 9 as she tastes like bacon and was really hot. Sometime later, Maedry goes to take the trash out, gets approached by a mysterious cloaked figure. At the bar, the boys are still teasing Krim about the salamander. Just then, Maedry hands them a letter given by the cloaked figure. They're paid to write a review of Cyclops Girls, so the reviewers are off to their duty. They reach there and find that the brothel is known for its wide range of sizes. Misunderstanding the situation, Canchel orders the biggest size only to learn that they meant the eye size. Turns out Cyclops put a lot of prestige in the size of their eyes. The bigger, the better. Krim and Canchel experience the bigger ones, but Stunk and Zell stick with regular-sized ones because they have the better milk melons. Stunk and Zell give a good review, along with Krim rating them 7, but Canchel was not a huge fan of eyes. As the group wonders who paid them to write the review, the cloaked figure is revealed to be a Cyclops girl with a small eye. Now she's really happy that other species don't care about their eye size. Someday in the bar, the reviewers are having a hard time deciding which establishment to visit. Maedry suggests picking whichever species enter the bar first. Just then, someone enters and it's a golem. Maedry is unable to control her laughter. They head out to find a golem brothel, which makes Maedry really excited. They go to a golem brothel, which apparently has a build-a-witch scheme. Wow, does Bella run this place? They can make a girl of their dreams with their choice of personality. They can also choose the size of the JJ too. Krim struggles to make their own doll, which turns out to look like the miraculous ladybug marinade. The boys make a doll that looks like Maedry, creeping out Krim. When asked if they want one too, Krim gives in. When the review comes out, Maedry is confused that they all enjoyed the golems and asks Krim what they did. When she finds out what happened, Maedry becomes infuriated and she beats the hell out of all of them. A few days later, the bar is filled with a lot of dark-aspected customers, making Krim weak. Zell suggests they go soak up some light, and by that they mean another brothel. Here they get really hot wisps, but they all have to do it in a single large room. Other customers will also be there. Don't mind them. The whole situation is like a public bathhouse, but just for things that most bathhouses prohibit. They all rated 5s and 7s as the girls were hot but the place was too public. The review gets mixed reactions in the bar. People who enjoy group activities are overjoyed by it. One fine day, the bar is pretty lively, and Maedry is working very diligently. Suddenly, she gets an urge and heads on upstairs, asking Krim to cover for her. Krim gets worried for her and talks to Zell and Stunk about it. Zell suspects it might be that time of the month for her. Krim wants to go help her in this situation, but gets stopped by Zell as he informs them the birdmaids lay out unfertilized eggs at this time, so they deduce leaving her alone should be the best option. However, Stunk, being the creep that he is, wants to witness eggs being laid. Krim stops them only to find out that egg-laying brothels exist and Zell knows the right guy to take them there. They enter the brothel, which does not guarantee an egg as it is a natural process. However, Zell's guy informs them that staying there an hour usually gives an egg. He says so as he loves to eat the eggs right after they're laid, to which Krim raises a question on his ethics for eating the eggs. Stunk shoots Krim right down, saying they're not fertilized, and succu-girls drinking male juice is fine, but eating the eggs brings out a topic of ethics? Wow, a debate about equality. As they enter, they see a herd of Lamias, famous chefs and mermen ready for the show. The show starts as the reptilians lay their eggs on stage. The more creeped out the reviewers get. The other reptiles seem to enjoy it though. Just when they're about to leave, the announcer announces the next layer to be a birdmaid, but Stunk's expectations are shattered as soon as a penguin-type birdmaid enters the stage. Everyone except is enjoying. Suddenly, the penguin announces she might lay the third egg, making everyone super hyped, as it is not a common affair and only happens when birdmaids have pent-up horniness. On the other hand, Maedry too lays 3 eggs. Although some parts of the show were enjoyed, all of them rank it very low except of course the Lamia. Reading this, Maedry again beats them up. In the Mitsue brothel, they're ranking the succu-girls, which is won by the fairy receptionist. The episode starts with some cloaked figures trying to honk some girls forcefully. Suddenly, one of them feels bad for the girls and asks the others to stop. Suddenly, the figures turn and say that this is the point of visiting the acting brothel. Yes, these guys are acting now. The show starts again, but one of the girls does not perform convincingly, frustrating Canchel. Krim, however, is too innocent for this roleplay, and the girls complain to the guys, but the guys shut them up by showing them Krim's high and mighty stuff. They all do their business. Results, Stunk and Zell enjoy it, so 7, but Canchel and Krim have some complaints, so 6 and 5 respectively. The reviews seem to be popular due to different roleplays. The next day, the boys are looking at a questing posting and decide to take it, as the reward is high. However, the quest will take over a week, and they do not want to be horny during that period. So they go to the succubus tower and take Krim there as well. The 60-floor tower holds thousands of succubus who can transform themselves as per the wish of the customer. This amazes Krim. Krim learns everyone orders as per their fantasy and pays half the price for double the time than other places. Krim picks out one from a pool of succubus and wonders why don't the boys visit here often, as it seems perfect and the price is cheap. Krim is taken to the rooms and their bottle is sucked dry by the succubus until they are hollow. As they return like zombies, they don't pay any attention to the other girls, because this is what the succubus do. Suck you dry. Now the guys can focus on their quest. They all review the succubus tower with 6 and 7 as they enjoyed it, but were drained completely. While the boys are out on quests, the others are impatient to get another review. The boys are on a mission to deliver some stuff to a vampire. Stunk and Bruise are eager to return, but Zell wants to stay and chat with the vampire. Hearing so, the vampire informs them that he has a brothel neighboring his place ready for customers. The vampire takes them to an undead brothel. Bruise is at a disadvantage, as his sensitive nose cannot handle the smell of the dead. The undead are rated at 6 by Stunk and Zell because of their cold bodies, but Bruise did not get any action, resulting in a 3. And the vampire, well, he gave his kind an 8. Meanwhile, in the city, Krim comes out of the animated slime brothel all alone, embarrassed at going by themselves. The boys ask Krim for their review. This is a special brothel where magic is used to animate the slime for various uses. Krim enjoys the bondage and penetration and the easy cleaning aspect of it, giving it a 9. Bruise passes on it and decides to go to his favorite ice bear. The boys question Krim on how did they find this place and find out that Canchel brought some reviews of other guys who ripped off their ideas. This infuriates the boys, but soon settle down as thinking anyone is allowed to do this, and they don't have the grounds to sue. They actually start enjoying the review by these other guys. They find a review written by a director who films lesbian succu-girls in action and about a place that got full points. Just then, Canchel enters and proposes to go to the place with the perfect scores. On their journey, they learn that Canchel is working with some guild centaur porters, as posting their reviews brings the brothels more customers, and the reviewers money, making a win-win situation. They reach a town and find everyone walking around with the same looking girl. The group pays a 5,000 gold fee and everyone gets a decoy doll of the best archmage in the world, Damien, for themselves. The doll or Damien seems to be very advanced than the ones they have met before, and they're allowed to do anything with them for 3 days. Anything. No matter how romantic or nasty. All of them head their own ways. We see Krim goes to freshen up with a doll and has a real refreshing bath where the doll cleans every part of them. On the other side, we see Stunk debating to himself if Damien is a 9 or a 10. The next morning, he's greeted by Damien with a delicious breakfast. Stunk realizes he's having an experience of just married life and likes it, settling on 10 points. We see that Zell is using the doll to get expert-level magic lessons for a less price, and Canchel is into bondage. Back to Krim. We see them talking about their broken halo. The doll tells them that she will take Krim to heaven and does indeed take them to a different type of heaven. Meanwhile, the actual Damien is collecting Krim's juices through a clone. Since Krim, an angel, is resistant to most attacks, Damien thinks that Krim's cream is the key to developing technology to build spells and armors resistant to every aspect of damage. She feels Krim's halo has some divine energy that cannot be replicated and wants it, but she can't just take parts from her client. At the end of the 3rd day, the group gives all-around perfect scores as all their fantasies are satisfied. The Centaur Porters take these reviews and the news travel far and wide, bringing a lot more customers to the place. Back at the bar, a busy maidry is running around serving everyone when suddenly a really handsome creature orders raw eggs. We see the handsome customer visiting brothels and draining every girl in there and still going strong. What is this guy's stamina routine? The group reaches the bar after their long journey only to find the dude there waiting for them. We learn that he's a top-tier incubus who's overly dramatic. Oh, okay, he's one of the internet trolls that don't understand the concept of different opinions and ask the group to revise their score on the basis of his experience. And he's also a perv that would rate anyone a 10 as long as he could have it. Suddenly, as he's being dramatic, he's stabbed from behind. Apparently, he took money from his girlfriend, saying he wants to follow his dreams. This dream was to clap as many succu-girls as possible. Then, he passionately tells her that he loves her too. The girl falls into his arms. The incubus is taken on a stretcher and the girl is captured too. Krim worries if the incubus is going to die, but soon learns that they have 2 hearts, one on the left side and the other in their hip pumping this sausage. Later, the boys want to go visit a brothel, but Krim ignores them as they are broke. Just then, Canchel enters with a huge sack of gold as they are paid from the reviews handed around by porters. Canchel also found a way to make money by trademarking from the review business and making the other reviewers pay a fee. What a businessman. Knowing they found an infinite money glitch, they try to drag Krim to a brothel but get attacked by Maidry to let them finish the job. By the time Krim is done, the boys get pretty drunk but want to drink more. So they head to alcohons, aka booze fairies. They drink and honk the night away. The next morning, they don't remember anything. Their reviews are also gibberish. They also blew through their newly earned fortune. So they have to take up various quests and they indirectly end up saving the world. But that's a story for another day. This is not that kind of story. One fine day, the boys are at the bar reminiscing over their memories from the notes of the succu-girls they visited. They find a card of a demon brothel which was recommended to them a while back from Demon 2, so they decide to go. Krim being busy with the bar chores and being an angel, they decide to let them be. As they enter the brothel, they are treated with great service. When they question the service, they find that demons love to get bonded by contract. They will do everything in their power to abide by the contract they're in. As the boys brought a recommendation from the Demon 2, they're in a direct contract with the Demon Lord, hence the great service. Learning so, Canchel deduces that if the demons win the election, they might actually make a good government as they will abide by the speech they're giving out. He also praises Demon 2 as he knew what he was doing. The boys rate the brothel quite high, spreading the information about the species far and wide. Demon 2 informs the Lord of this news, but the Demon Lord is not interested as the election is already over and she lost. But Demon 2 reminds her that this is a very good step in the image of their species. It's the new year and everyone prays to God, but Krim says that God cannot hear prayers like these. Everyone's mood goes down. To lift their moods, Stunk says they need to fulfill a New Year tradition by visiting the best-rated brothel of last year to keep the luck. As the Damien's establishment is too far, they choose something close by. They all choose their muse and head out only to find that everyone is busy. They are approached by the fairy receptionist who gives them a card as thanks for the review, which is making their business bloom. Turns out, guys with small sausages found their perfect match for the little fairies. When the reviewers reach the establishment, they find their desired girls there. Turns out they visited the Dream Repeater brothel and had the best dreams. They rate the brothel quite high. While reading the reviews, one of the creatures who was always teased for being a virgin and who only read the reviews becomes a full-fledged wizard as he turns 30 without sleeping with anyone. Is that my future too? The last scene ends with Stunk and Zell finishing up a quest and deciding to visit Stunk's dad's harem. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on the notification, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.